Hi friends, it's Salt. If you're new here, this channel is all about salt. Salt is the element of healing, cleansing, power, and transformation through alchemy. This space is not for everyone. It is intentionally made to only find a few. It finds people who transmute pain into healing, which is in itself very rare. I personally do not want a large audience and would rather find who it's meant to find instead. So if you found this, I'm honored to be one of the few who gets to reflect you properly. Just a note, a few housekeeping things. A question I keep getting is I do not offer personal readings. In fact, I don't know that I want to monetize at all. To me, this feels like it's not meant to be combined with money, as it kind of defeats the purpose of channeling for the collective with real intention. That could change if I feel it doesn't misguide me, but for now, this is really a purpose-seeking space, not a money-seeking space for me. This particular reading is going to start with a really strong visual, which might be abstract, but this has just been here with me for a little bit. What I'm being shown is the symbolism of essentially a weird glowing door that's kind of like pulsating, which is odd. The weird things about this door is there's no lock, there is no handle, and there is no apparent way to open it. And at first, when I was getting this, I was like, what is this? What is this supposed to mean? But the longer I've sat with this, the first glance is important, right? Because I'm like, okay, this is like a non-functioning door. Like basically some sort of opportunity to go somewhere else is out of reach. But I think the theme here is looking at something differently, and I think it's sitting with it for a little bit longer and thinking about it in an abstract way that you wouldn't normally think about. So what I'm feeling with this particular reading and this collective in general is that you're not meant to follow in the footsteps that have been predefined for you. You're meant to walk in a path that you create yourself. This energy feels like people who look at things differently, and they kind of like see these like hidden patterns that are like deep within the surface of something. So I'm sensing a really strong connection to the unseen and the ability to basically make something out of nothing. And historically, there's kind of this like I'm there's a lot of people that take advantage of these gifts, and the first card that I pulled is the Seven of Wands. So there's a tension of being spiritually or creatively gifted in something in a world that often tries to contain or misuse that energy. For you, there's a lot of people maybe in your life, either that you don't recognize or that you do, depending on how long they've been there or how closely you listen to your intuition, that use your gifts like a tool. And the way they get access to this is subtly. Like you might not even recognize it, and it might take a lot of trial and error or time to see what they're doing. But they can do it in two ways. They can demean you to the point to where your power becomes distorted in your own mind. So you start viewing your power as like, oh, I'm just weird, I'm odd, I'm not doing things the right way, I'm not seeing things the way everybody else is seeing. And that's the first way that people leverage your gifts to their advantage. The second way is that it's just kind of like almost a subconscious process where, you know, if your energy isn't grounded by action, the light that you emit to others is so like full that it just becomes something that's easily accessed. So people sense that you're an open source of light, gifts, and power, where you can like you have these creative gifts, and people just kind of like siphon it unconsciously. They don't recognize they're doing it. It's a very spiritual process. So This group of people that I'm channeling towards in this message is actually on a new journey of being really curious about alternative life paths. I'm being shown like a tiny house lifestyle living, off grid, or sustainable living. There's a lot of different paths here that have different expectations that aren't conventional. They're basically not a 9 to 5 life. They are not work till a certain age and then retire and only have, so long to live. These lifestyles kind of break that theme. And what's coming in really strongly is a lot of trial and error. I'm sensing that you've done the 9 to 5 life or conventional approach maybe multiple times, or you've tried to, but each time something either unsettling happens to you or something happens in the situation where you're being kind of directed back to, hey, you have gifts that are bigger than this, and you go back to these alternative lifestyle options. It seems that it's pointing to do something, and something inside of you has stopped yourself from pursuing these alternative lifestyles, but I'm being clearly guided to explain to you that you are protected in this different path, and it's technically already yours. You just really have to claim it. I think that there's a lot of fear here with outside perspectives or what people will think about you, but that might change with more time. So there's two energies that are coming through really heavy. The first one has a really long past with you. This one feels really toxic is the only word I can think of. Really has a lot of turmoil, has a lot of pain, has deep ties that might be karmic. I'm not sure, but there are conversations about this new alternative journey that are surfacing with this person. Maybe you haven't even started the alternative path. Maybe you have. I don't know. But this energy feels that you're acting or being different in some way. And I think it's jarring to this person because they've known you for a really long time one way, and it feels very recent that you've shifted and that you're starting this new alternative life path. Maybe you haven't started it yet, maybe you're going to, but that energy shift is felt from this person, and there's a sense of like discomfort with where you're going because it's not how you've been, and I don't know if this person can really like understand why they're feeling uncomfortable about it. But the second energy here feels really not good. This might not be for everyone, but there's someone here that doesn't have your best interests is what it's feeling like. This is especially jealous, maybe. This is someone that either you immediately resonate with and you know because you have an intuition about them, or you're clueless and have no idea. It feels like this person is frequently around you or frequently is exposed to your energy in some way. I don't really know. I'm not getting a lot of specifics around it, but if you feel intuitively like you know who this might be, I'm being guided to tell you to remove their energy from you because it's not helping you. It's kind of like hindering this alternative path in some way. I think whether unconsciously or consciously, you might be affected by their energy in some way. So overall, the message here is to walk an undefined path. For this particular group, I think you're meant to create something that's really important, and there's a strong need to have the whatever gifts that this group of people have in the world, and it doesn't exist yet. So whatever you're meant to be here to create, we need collectively. And I think the containment that you felt like you couldn't really give this rare gift is because whatever you're meant to give is dangerous to how society functions because it's different. So that containment to your power exists purposefully. So there is going to be discomfort. You're going to experience that because whatever you're meant to create is going to change the way society functions in some way, whether small, large, whatever the scale is acting different, being different, emitting different energy is dangerous. So these containments are here purposefully. The judgment is there purposefully. The friction is there purposefully. And Spirit is asking me to really tell you to move forward, even without knowing how to open that door. The message here is to keep experimenting with that discomfort that you're going to feel every time you try to open the door in a different way. It's important that your gifts are given in some way. So the end of this message is I wanted to kind of share that I'm really driven on fairness. And the reason I don't respond to comments is not because I'm not reading all of them. It's because I don't want to create an environment where one person gets into attention over another. I want it to feel equal. So I'm being called to kind of explain that my lack of responses or engagement is not me not caring. I definitely read each and every one of your comments, and I wanted to kind of ask that you continue to leave comments, that you continue to talk about your story, how this resonates with you, because it helps me channel for you more directly. The downloads I get are sometimes all over the place, sometimes very specific, like this message, and I'm really happy and thankful that you all are here and that you all are sharing your stories with me. So cheers, friends.